So lots of quite worrying things have happened to undermine public health this week. NBC News reported that dozens of Centers for Disease Control databases, so CDC databases, are not being updated. So most of these out-of-date ones are related to public health. So for instance, databases tracking uptake of annual vaccines or databases tracking hospitalization for various illnesses. And because they're not being up to date, it really does reduce the ability of public health officials to take action to protect the health of Americans because the current situation is less well known. And then Health Secretary RFK Jr. has continued to weaken American expert health advice to align with his own unevidenced beliefs. So there's a panel that helps the federal government set priorities for autism research and social services. And that has been overhauled. And basically what he's done is he's installed several members who have said that vaccines can cause autism, despite decades of research saying there is no link between vaccines and autism. Staying on vaccines, last summer, RFK Jr. targeted the preservative thimerosal in vaccines and basically banned it from vaccines available in the US. And that was done without a rigorous scientific process. So there is no evidence linking thimerosal to harm. So there's no scientific reason to ban it. So in fact, there are research studies involving millions of people showing that thimerosal is not linked to autism. So the Trump administration has now told global vaccine group Gavi that it has to phase out vaccines containing thimerosal as a condition for the US giving funding to Gavi, and that is a significant amount of money. Now, thimerosal containing vaccines are still used in over 120 countries, and the World Health Organization have estimated that immunization with these vaccines currently protects almost 2/3 of all infants and children against 4 potential deadly diseases. So you can see how either Gavi's going to end up with a lot less money to carry out its life-saving programs, or many of the vaccines that are currently used are going to have to be withdrawn. And who knows if these children will still get vaccinated against these diseases. So it has massive consequences. And then in more international news, the State Department has ordered US missions to review all aid programs to ensure that they're not funding groups that are working on family planning, diversity, or what the Trump administration calls gender ideology. So the policy has existed for a while, but it was previously focused purely on abortion. And now it's also barring funding of groups that work on DEI, gender and transgender rights.